recent weeks, Chairman Khrushchev has been boasting about 100 megaton bomb, a weapon far too large for military objectives. 2 days ago, the Soviet government announced its intention to resume nuclear tests. These events, at a time when the world could have had a workable treaty banning nuclear explosions, show a determined Soviet purpose to rest its future policy on the terrorization of humanity. The Soviet policy is the policy of overkill, but the Soviet government underestimates the people of the world if it thinks they will capitulate to a strategy of blackmail and terror.
Why do you think that the Soviets have decided to make this announcement at this time?
Well, I think it is coldly calculated on the eve of this uncommitted conference in Belgrade, in the hopes that perhaps someone there would try to beg the Soviet Union not to test in the event that the United States would be agreed that it would not stand firm on its commitments to West Berlin.
This is rather obscure because from the standpoint of attacking cities and industrial targets and military installations, there's little that a 100 megaton bomb can do that a 10 megaton bomb will not do. Attacking the hardened missile bases, those bases that are designed to withstand the overpressure of a nearby hit, a 100 megaton bomb would probably have more serious effect on those installations than a smaller bomb.
So this then would be actually a weapon against missile bases primarily?
Well, one might draw that conclusion.
Some years ago, Dr. Robert Oppenheimer said man had not quite yet achieved the ability to destroy himself accidentally. Do you think we're on the verge of it now?
I don't think that we are approaching or will approach a point where the human race can be destroyed by an accidental detonation of a nuclear weapon.
By a war, a nuclear war?
Or even by a nuclear war. Horrible as the consequences of the nuclear war. All the studies that I have seen of the consequences indicate that there will be a survival. Nuclear war will not create the situation envisaged by Neville Shute in his book On the Beach.
The President has certainly taken the statesmanlike attitude in his message to the Soviet Union about the cessation of testing in the atmosphere with the danger to mankind, and there's no question but what the people of America and the people throughout the world in the main support the position that he has taken and our government has taken. I hope for a week from Saturday, but my calm judgment tells me no. The target day, as I could see it, would be 2 weeks from Saturday, but I put the hope in so that I'll at least have occupy a compatible position with my colleagues.
Senator Mansfield?
I have nothing to add.
What about adjournment, in your opinion?
Well, I would hope that we could finish on the 16th, but I would go along with John here and say that to be practical, it might be closer to the 23rd.
If it appears that we're losing ground, well, we'll have to, I'm sure the President would want to reconsider the whole question.
Mr. McCone, you were chairman of the AEC at part of the time of the hottest controversy over strontium-90. Do you consider the Soviet test series as we see it developing now to pose a danger to the United States?
Well, I haven't had a chance to evaluate that. At present, the three tests that they've made have been small and obviously would create no serious danger. However, the series of these so-called superbombs, that might be a different story, and I think it has to be studied very carefully.
Well, yes, I was with General de Gaulle Saturday after the announcement of the resumption of the test and the comment on the 100 megaton weapon. We talked about the psychological aspects of this, why it was done, the increased tension. And as you know, the General de Gaulle feels that in this atmosphere of tension and a buildup of tension, we should not rush to negotiate. So, of course, this aspect of it was discussed quite deeply, I would say.
Would you say in terms of negotiation that the threat of the 100 megaton bomb makes negotiation more difficult in General de Gaulle's view?
Well, I would hesitate to speak for him. He can certainly express himself well on this particular point. The common feeling is, however, that it would. It increases tension, increases pressure, and, of course, makes more difficult negotiation.
The President has just announced that the United States conducted a nuclear weapons development test of low yield at our Nevada test site at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is the first of a series of tests jointly sponsored by the Atomic Energy Commission and the Department of Defense. The President pointed out in his statement that the United States has reluctantly taken the step of starting testing again following years of negotiation with the Soviet Union in an attempt to reach a nuclear test ban agreement. And when the Soviet Union, without any prior warning and after considerable preparation, commenced testing in the atmosphere, subsequent tests to be conducted by the United States government will also be aimed at two other American programs. One is a program of detection of underground nuclear tests in other parts of the world, the VELA program. And the second will be an attempt to find peaceful applications of nuclear detonations, the Plowshare program. There was no fallout in today's Nevada test, and this contrasts vividly with the fallout which has been produced by the Russian test. The United States government has thus far announced 10 atmosphere tests by the Soviet Union, 3 of them in the megaton range.
We are trying constantly to reduce the size and the weight of our warhead and at the same time increase the yield. This is what we have accomplished by nuclear tests in the past. And if it hadn't been for this development over the years in nuclear weapons, our intercontinental ballistic missiles would not be able to deliver the nuclear and thermonuclear warheads. The Soviets went the other way. They developed a tremendous thrust, and they can deliver, shall we say, rather clumsy and heavy warheads. And what they're doing now is to refine their nuclear warheads so that they can get an even greater yield, maybe up to 100 megatons for their intercontinental ballistic missile systems.
Are you convinced we're still ahead of the Russians?
We are ahead in nuclear capability, but we may be behind in certain given areas. Our real concern is in the delivery systems. Our stockpile is meaningless unless we can deliver our weapons.
You think they'll come as quickly as the Russian explosions have come?
Let's make this clear. It is harder to test underground than in the atmosphere. The Soviets is taking the cheaper and the faster way out.
has decided for this assembly, or as part of the problem of disarmament, since Prime Minister Nehru of India first... Now, sir, I would like to explain why the United States believes a nuclear test ban treaty with effective international controls should be the first priority objective, and why we cannot accept another uncontrolled moratorium. If nuclear testing be a danger, then clandestine or secret testing is even more dangerous. It is quite apparent, I think, that if two nations were to promise to cease testing, and then one tested in secret, while the other remained faithful to its promise, that the cheating nation would reap military advantages which in time might become decisive.